Hey there, I'm Heidi Nord and I'm the owner of The Brilliant Dyslexic, and I'm so excited because I got my 250 votes for the Chasen Living Social Grant, and I thought I would show you just a general mind map of what I have in store. So here's dyslexia, and the one thing I wanted to make sure people knew is that even though this is a specialized niche, it's really related to lots of different things. Because what happens is when a dyslexic student gets into school and they don't get the correct services, sometimes their self-confidence and their self-esteem is very largely affected, and then they have a really hard time being successful in life, which is really sad because people with dyslexia are vastly intelligent. NASA actually seeks people with dyslexia for their programs because they can think in such creative, new, innovative ways. So what we see typically is sometimes people become ultra successful who are dyslexic, and sometimes we see a huge dropout rate or people who go into jail or prison. And this is a systemic difficulty we have in our country because this affects a lot of people. So when a kid drops out of school, that's not good for our economic system, for our social system. So it's really important that we look at dyslexia because it's the main reason people drop out of school. So I wanted to go ahead and tell you a little bit more about myself and my plan. Basically, I am connected with Napa Valley Unified. And the great thing about being here is that we have a really great superintendent and really flexible teachers. And Napa has a huge history of having great alternative schools. And all of those things help support programs to get dyslexia instruction into classrooms. And also, aside from just wanting to be more of a presence in my local community, I really want to have a national presence. That's my big goal too. So I really want to start doing webinars and teleseminars for that national presence because we need more people speaking about dyslexia and what an asset it is to have so that we can have a stronger society. So, and the interesting thing now is that finally we're getting to a point where Congress is starting to look at dyslexia. So it's perfect timing for somebody like me to be able to grow my company and help people. So it's a win-win. So Congress is looking at dyslexia. My goal is to be able to train teachers, not only to help students become more literate, but train teachers about the vast intelligence that people with dyslexia have. I also want to coach students. So I want to do a webinar format for students who have dyslexia because I can tutor very large groups at a low cost to them and be able to create money for my business, for business growth. And small businesses are the backbone of our country. So I think I have a lot of potential to create a lot of growth through that format. I also have products, so I am working on a book called Solve Your Dyslexia Puzzle, and I'll be able to use that in my trainings with teachers, but also with parents. And I already have a program that is finished. It's an online training program, but I just haven't figured out how to sell that. And the great thing about the Chasen Living Social Grant is not only do they help you with the finances, but they help you with media. And that would be fabulous. I would love that. And then the other thing I'm creating right now is called an Orton Gillingham Companion Kit. So people with dyslexia need to be instructed in an Orton Gillingham based method. And the programs are great, but I think that there's room for growth to add more fun and playful activities because typically students with dyslexia really like to be interactive and use physical movements with their body. And I have come up with a companion kit for most Orton Gillingham programs. So I think it's a really fantastic product. So, and the other thing I wanted to say is this is a little bit related to Escape from No Child Left Behind, because what has happened, that was supposed to have dyslexia in it, from what I understand, but the term was pulled out for political reasons. And what we see now is schools still don't really understand dyslexia specifically. We have seen a much improved reading instruction, but the problem is that we're getting sanctions from every state if schools don't hit their test scores. The difficulty with that is it leads to immense stress for teachers, and that filters down to students. Students cannot learn when they're stressed out. That taps into their sympathetic nervous system, and that is not the place that they can learn from. We need to get students into a parasympathetic nervous system, a calm, relaxed state for intense learning to be able to take place. And that's the first thing I do with my students is I help to get their brainwave patterns in an alpha state, and then that makes learning a lot easier. So teachers who are having to stick to all of the standards and are scared about tests, it's actually a contradiction, because when they're stressed out, that's not a good place for their students to learn from. Okay, the other thing that I've just done is I've completed my coach training through Martha Beck, and she's fabulous. I love her. And basically, through all of the tools I've learned, I can help people I can help minds break their bonds, basically. So, and the reason this is so important is because if somebody's feeling bad about themselves because they feel like they can't do something, that's going to affect their whole life. So looking at those thought patterns is really important for teachers so they understand how intelligent people with dyslexia are. And finally, I'm an author. One of my goals is to be an inspirational speaker. And, you know, it's just really something that I feel very drawn to do. And I think that because I'm an author and I have a couple of books coming out, that I can really inspire people to live their best lives. And teachers would love to hear some of this stuff because they're so creative. And if we bring creativity back into the classroom, that really is going to help business. Businesses like Google and Pixar use so many ideas from creativity, and it's important that we bring that into our educational system because that's how new things are invented. We get to learn about how creative we are and how that piece actually really, really helps businesses. So the last thing I wanted to say is I just have a lot of gratitude to Chase and to Living Social because it's just such a generous offer that they're giving to 12 businesses. I honestly hope, I'm a small company, it's just me, I'm a sole proprietor, but I have a lot of passion and a lot of spunk, and I think I could do a great job. So, but thank you so much, because just me applying for the grant has helped me really formulate all of this, and this is my true passion. Oh, and the last thing is I've contacted the University of Phoenix because when I'm training teachers, I can offer them teacher education units, and that's something that teachers really like, and teachers really want to learn about dyslexia. But anyway, I'm very grateful to the people at Chase and Living Social. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Heidi Nord, the Brilliant Dyslexic.